Monday, there is a hearing in Manhattan about whether or not the bond that Donald Trump got involving the Letitia James uh, bank fraud case is valid. And if this bond is not valid, what will happen? Well, Letitia James could end up seizing his properties and things like that. But I keep seeing some Trump apologists, some Trump humpers, and just Republicans in general saying, well, banks do their own investigations and their own valuations, so there's no fraud. What they're failing to realize is it's not so much that he went and said, okay, I want a loan on Trump Tower. I think Trump Tower is worth $100 million. Give me a loan for $100 million. The bank would do a valuation on that. But when they look at how creditworthy he is and where his value, at his worth, they don't go look at every piece of property he has. I use this example sometimes. I bought a house a couple of years ago, and when they were looking at what I had for assets and stuff, I had to tell them about my car. My car at the time was worth about $1,000. Now I had no loan on that car, but let's say it was worth 10. But if I told them I had a car worth 10,000, well, I looked financially better. The car wasn't the collateral against the loan for the house. They didn't entirely care. They weren't going to go and run a Kelley Blue Book against my car to see how much my car was worth. They only cared about the house. They only asked about the car to see how good my credit was and how good my valuations were. So it's the same thing. In this case, Donald Trump wanted to get a loan on Trump Tower, but he told them, Mar-a-Lago's worth 100. He's also got Mar-a-Lago in his profile, and it's worth $100 million. Well, they're going to look at the outstanding loan. They can see that on his credit report, and they're going to say, "Oh, well, he only owes $9 million on Mar-a-Lago, and it's worth $100 million. Well, that's a good risk. He can borrow on that again too, should he need it. He's a good risk. But if Mar-a-Lago's only worth 10 and he's got 9 borrowed on it, he doesn't have that other money there. That's the point. The bank is not running credit on everything. They're taking the other assets at their value that he says they're worth because they're only concerned about the value of the collateral for that particular loan. Now, if he's going up to the banks for multiple loans for multiple properties, we might get an idea that he had done something wrong. But the fact is, he was getting multiple loans. He would go and say, they would do their valuation on whatever property. They would come up with a number. He would borrow that number, but they would say, well, you have all these other properties that have value left in them that you could borrow against based on the numbers he provided. And he told them, and he signed documents saying they were accurate. That's the point. It's not that he said, well, Trump Tower's worth $100 million, give me a loan on it. They don't care about that. They would have done a valuation on Trump Tower. It's that he told them that his other properties were worth more, and then they would look at how many loans he had, and they go, oh, well, you got value, you can borrow against it should you need it. You're a good risk. That's what happened. So don't get distracted by the fact that that banks do appraisal on whatever collateral you put up against the loan for that property. They do. It's the other assets he owned. That's the problem. So that's all just a talking point. Don't get sidetracked by it.